Alright. How's it going, guys? How have you guys been doing these past few days, I assume? But first we're gonna have priorities and focus on the title. The Stanley Parable 14. Liquid. Part 5. Okay, I simply find this funny because the Stanley Parable 14 Part 5. Sequel. It's Part 14, Part 5, and... Okay, that distracted me so much for some reason. Anyway, back to the topic. How have you guys been? Welcome back to another episode of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I'm surprisingly not tired. It's 6:40 a.m. I haven't slept yet. So if I seem more confused than usual, which is already a lot, it's because of that. So that's my excuse. I hope you guys have one as well. If you're watching this live, I hope you have a good excuse to be awake. Actually, that's like the time people usually wake up to go to work, so that's always a good excuse. And not really an excuse. Anyway, let's start the game. I don't actually have any plans, I just wanted to stream something / record something so I can talk to you guys.
This is the story
or listen to him talk.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee.
That's where we get our information from.
Employee number
all our information, actually.
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on the desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them.
Oh, I wish I had a person like that in my life.
Employee 427 did every day.
I don't know what I mean with that.
Of every year.
Don't worry.
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
What a funny thought.
Was happy.
Until he wasn't.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one...
After an hour, I may repeat.
...arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company...
Now I said hi.
...this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Never.
Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
I can't.
He had to make a decision. What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that.
Never.
No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me.
Yes.
In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley
Manifesting.
hours passed, then days. Had years gone by?
I don't think so. I see like the seconds on the clock.
Sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just
I feel that though.
Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
It didn't explain shit to me. That was unfair.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
That was simply unfair. That was a lie.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, I think I missed the memo. You didn't explain how I can leave the room, which I obviously managed to do anyway. I like just Oh, that's... Wait, and then you... Okay, wait. Then you begin the game again. To be honest, I don't remember much about how you achieve this ending. I still want to do that. I still want to click the buttons. All of them. All of them. I think I'm doing this right. I haven't done this in like a year. Or maybe less than a year. I actually don't keep track of anything. Too much work.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I hope I'm not missing anything. I'm probably missing stuff. I had people tell me I've been missing stuff. And I believed them. Is it there? Can't be there. Oh wait, is it in the boss's office? There's a... I think we had to go to the boss's office at one point. Like, that's the goal in the game anyway, kind of. Can we still achieve it with the bucket?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't
Can
find
we...
a trace of his
Can we
skill.
achieve this with the bucket? I actually don't know that.
It's bucket time.
It's always bucket time. Talking about bucket time, I got a haircut. I finally know what the Smiths meant when they said they know how Joan of Arc felt. Because same.
And entered the door on his left.
Because same. I look good. I still look good. But it's a little bit shorter than I intended to. I look quite lovely, I heard.
Stanley needed
I
the
don't
bucket
believe them.
warmth and
I
comfort
also
of
dyed my hair.
Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Probably
To
not.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yeah, my hair is back to purple again. Dark purple though, so it actually almost just looks black. Yeah. Actually, quite nice.
All of his
Maybe
coworkers
I'll
were gone.
show you guys a pic sometime soon.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hey, Thank you. Did I miss it? I have terrible paranoia that I've missed it. Anyway, we can always just restart. So there's actually no pressure.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, the only pressure there is me thinking I'm a fool for even thinking it could be a different route than the one I took at first.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss.
If that makes sense.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
To find disappointment. Yeah, to find disappointment, literally. Is there another? Because if not, I will begin the game again.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I probably missed it.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
Oh my god, I walked right past it. It's like the only one I didn't look at.
He couldn't find a
Did I
trace of
click
his
at it?
co-workers.
Did I click at it?
Stanley went around
Oh
touching
yeah, it
every
literally...
little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I am working to advance the story. Excuse me. That's just insulting. I've been doing a great job. I want... Do you guys think I could get the bucket if I like sprint?
It's bucket time.
No! Let me in.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I will take that as a no. I cannot take the bucket with me, which is rather disappointing. Or maybe I'm just too slow. At least we finally arrived in heaven with beautiful music, I might say. So beautiful that it's actually way too loud for my ears right now. Okay. Heaven has buttons. I forgot they do that. This is like a fidget toy. It's like a big ass fidget toy. They may have taken away my ADHD, but I still have it. That didn't make sense at all for a lot of people. It didn't even make sense for me. I'm just tired. And then they relight there again. No. No, Stanley said, clutching the bucket tight to his chest. That's something the narrator would say. To narrate the story, I imagine. It's so beautiful. I think our eyes have been blessed. But that is enough. That's not even the ending I wanted to do, though I didn't have an exact ending in mind until I did. I just... Wait, if I close the... I could. Just Stanley is a weak-minded individual.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I really just want to take the bucket with me. Why can't I?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. It's bucket time.
I missed you, my bucket. Oh, you probably go to hell. That makes sense, actually.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh, I straight up... I stole some of the lines the narrator says. And was like, yeah, that's something he would say. After I heard him say that like a dozen times. Don't get fired.
More than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley
Ooh, red light.
Upstairs to the boss's office.
Red light. For a moment I thought I broke it, but I just stood in the lamp.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours.
That would be yeah.
In such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy.
Crazy?
Something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all.
Oh, that's a bad sign.
Strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort.
That's just hurtful.
This isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket?
It has my sticker on it.
Wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what
Oh,
sorts
no.
of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. Indeed, now he noticed the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd.
Besides that, we've been walking in circles. Now that is odd.
Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him. Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
What's the bucket, guys?
He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket. Come to me, Stanley. Find me. He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
We ate the bucket? Did we eat the bucket?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what
Oh,
the
we
problem
died.
was.
That
This
is
man
sad.
had no bucket. Of
That's why I
course
have a
he
bucket,
died.
guys, so I don't die.
Ranting and
You guys
raving
should
like
get a
narrator
bucket too.
describing all of his actions and how everything is
Or
purely
steal it.
and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket
A working
would
woman,
provide
businesswoman,
absolute guidance and total
with a
clarity.
bucket.
Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass, and she backflipped all the way to work.
Same, dude. I always do that. If I had work, that is.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Wait, what?
Did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Guys.
It's bucket time. Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch.
I am.
But it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the
I'm in the white. Do I have dog mode? I want dog mode. It's a dog. I don't remember this.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Maybe I'm just making a bigger deal out of it than it actually is. You know, rooms change all of the time. That's also why I constantly walk against furniture and trip over it.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I am so tempted to just walk right downstairs again. But it's too late now. It's too late. I can't do this. Oh, apparently I can do this.
To discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation,
Was
Stanley
it?
may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing
Was
presence.
this right? No.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth
But are numbers
fade
right?
out, pierce the dark clouds of confusion.
I have a
that
very
It
short-term
would be
memory.
with him, always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice it
Nor
at
in
all.
the bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Hey, I pressed all of these buttons. Just not in this. 2, 8, 4, 5. Yeesh.
Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it the bucket knew all along?
Yes.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes. This is certainly the most logical explanation.
Let's go downstairs in this really nice, comfortable elevator. Really stable, I might add. As stable as you guys.
Downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
I know. Oh wait, I'm not Stanley. Huh? Well, lucky me, I guess. I'm not a video game character as far as I can tell.
Mind control facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. But of course, Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too much to live for.
Oh wait, we don't. You're a bucket and I'm a video game character. Never mind.
It's death for Stanley and the bucket.
Or maybe not. A bucket has so much to do in this world. The reassurance alone. So important. Oh, I think there's a dog, guys. Well, this seems safe, and I'm sure nothing bad will happen, and we have been told nothing that would raise concern at all.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I just kind of want to do it to spite him. Go back and forth. Even though it's like really entertaining for you guys going the same road over and over again, back and forth, back and forth. That's also why I decided that I will play You Will Not Remain, I think. That's actually the first thing I wanted to stream, but then I thought I want to be more awake for that so I can experience whatever the game is. I actually have no clue what it's about. I just saw it recommended on Steam and I was like, oh, that looks cool, I'm gonna buy it. It looks depressing enough. So we're gonna play it soon. But by my definition, soon could also be in 2 months, so don't wait up. Oh, wait up and subscribe so you don't miss it. Actually, the better option, if I may say so myself.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Pain is relative, especially if you're not real. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, it's like a roller coaster, guys. It's a roller coaster. It's taking us to a magical place. A roller coaster place. It's an amusement park.
Inch closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death?
It's 7 a.m. Wow. I don't know what my point with that was, but wow.
Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell. And goodbye.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single
hello there.
instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently.
Nice accent.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket.
Oh, she understands the art of the bucket.
In their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Oh, not again. I love museums, but even I have my limits. Or will you turn a blind... Yeah, ignorance and darkness it is for me.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is
Stress
far
bucket.
more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
You don't know nothing about my relationship with my bucket. You ignorant. Wait, no, I'm the ignorant one. I'm leaving. I'll walk into the dark. I'll get swallowed by the void. Wait, no, that isn't working. I am not getting swallowed by the void. Guess we have to go through the museum. What an unfortunate turn of events. Oh, look at the bucket at its prime. talking about Prime.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Well, how do you know I didn't do that? Fine. Oh, okay, a good point.
But there is something we can do.
Cry.
Something we can do together, you and I.
Therapy.
That will right this terrible wrong.
I want to say something else, but I don't think that's appropriate.
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run.
Yes, I'm doing this out of spite. I missed you, my bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I don't care, I miss
Stanley
my
decided
bucket.
to go to the meeting room.
Bucket!
Time.
It's bucket time, guys. I've never been so happy before. But it's bucket
Stanley
time.
touched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And
Hell
here it
yeah.
was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was.
Oh, let's get something to drink.
The bucket turned out to be.
And take a sip. You guys hydrate yourselves as well. Please not with an energy drink, but with water, because that's how you hydrate.
Being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they did.
Besides, if you're me.
First, walking through the door.
Or
of the
probably
then
yourself as
walking
well.
to the lounge. Then, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I can't tell left and right apart, to be fair.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
If I drop, what will happen?
Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms.
How beautiful.
Deeply touching.
Well, at least now we know what will happen if I do that.
All of his
Quite
co-workers
lovely
were gone.
and
What did
touching.
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. It's bucket time.
It always is bucket time. I think I always say the same line over and over again at that point. It's just my line that has been programmed into the game.
But Stanley had felt the bucket
Because it is always
telling him
bucket time.
that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
The utter disappointment in his voice.
To go back to the meeting room.
No.
And now here it is, he's
Don't
got
go to the
range.
meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there.
Is this a
Go to the
cargo lift?
lift.
I think this is a cargo lift. Never mind. It didn't really lift me up. Quite the opposite, really. Yeah, that seems safe. Completely safe. And sane, I might add. Enjoy the show.
Okay, this is day number 295. Take number. I don't even know. I've lost
It says 252.
nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up.
Are we talking about the bucket?
How many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. decent
I've heard that friends are a much healthier alternative to buckets.
explanation for it.
Just saying. Or the same thing
I haven't
actually.
figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so. What do I do with this treasure?
Treasure it.
I can monetize it.
Oh no, capitalism, guys. Hide. Hide.
It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to... What's that? Who's there?
I love the horror aspect of this game sometimes. Always. So much. With no sleep at all and a lot of paranoia, this is just great. It's relaxing, I may say so. Because I'm lying. Well, might do the same thing again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I want to see what happens when we go there without the bucket. I know I've seen it already at some point, but still.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I am
and
aware,
Stanley
don't
knew it
worry.
perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Just to
The lounge
hydrate.
was sublime. A work of
Hydrate,
art.
guys.
What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace, its subtle charm. No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker.
That's why I have to get out of there.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Did he say first?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
True. Yeah, imagine someone says go left and you go into a random air vent you just
Stanley had
found.
now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path.
Ooh, that is creepy. I love it.
That it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you?
No.
What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is relevant.
I don't know what's up with my mouse sensitivity. I'm literally not touching it. Oh, I hate that.
Absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
It is. Oh, I think we upset him, guys. And maybe that is a sign to end the stream for today, even though it's just been like 30 minutes. It's whatever. Small regular streams, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Like small, short. Almost the same thing. Heavy on the almost. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like and a sub, and I'll see you next time in the Stanley Parable 14 Part 5 sequel. Have a great rest of your day.